The views and opinions expressed on this program are those of the participants and do not reflect the views of BronxNet or the program underwriters.
BronxNet. Your voice, your views, your vision.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Open Friday, the one and only talk show bringing the best of the Bronx, New York, and the world straight to you. I'm Rina Valentin, your host, Y Café con Leche, every Friday morning. Let's take a look at today's show. First up, the Open Weekend Preview is back where it belongs with all the fun Halloween events for you and your family to check out no matter what your age. Then authors of Mr. Wolf versus the Three Pigs, a fairy tale Law and Order, is here to clear the name. After that, Baron Ambrosia is Dead, his newest movie. He's here to preview it with us before he lays to rest. Following, we'll preview a new documentary about the underground Bronx music scene. The sports roundup with Bobby C follows. And we close out the show with some exotic Middle Eastern dance by Nora Shams. All this is coming your way because now we are officially open. Hello and welcome to Open Friday. I'm Rina Valentin, your host, Y Café con Leche, for the next hour. And you know, we're always inviting you to get social with us. That's right. Online, that is. Tweet us at BronxNet TV and or like us on Facebook at Open BronxNet Television. And of course, don't forget to follow moi on Twitter at Rina Valentin. We are tweeting and retweeting nowadays. That's right. Getting in the social scene. All right, now it's, we're going to get right into it and tell you all the fun things to do in our Open Weekend Preview. First, NYC Prison to Prosperity Fair and business competition for all those who are trying to regain their footing outside of prison system. That's happening at Lehman College. Lehman College is holding a business fair on Saturday, October 26th from 8 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. And Lehman College is at 250 Bedford Park Boulevard, West and Golden Avenue in the Bronx. For more information, you can check out thinkoutsidethecell.org or you can call 718-231-1033. Next, the Halloween Party for Charity. This event is happening at the Howl at the Moon Grill and Bar, and they are going to be donating its proceeds to Leticia Dos Santos, a teenager with cancer, and that's happening once again at the Howl in the Moon Grill Bar at 585 East 189th Street in the Bronx, and that's Saturday, October 26th from 1 to 7 p.m. And for more info, you can go to howlbx.com. And more Halloween parties are happening for all ages. Con Sazón, promoting safe trick or treating and community-oriented fun. The children's party on October 27th, that's at 3 p.m. and location is 3190 Westchester Avenue in the Bronx, and the additional adult party is actually happening at the same location on November 1st. So I hope you had a pen and paper because we had two separate events happening, one for the kids, one for the adults, and the one on November 1st is at 8 p.m. And again, both of those parties are happening at 3190 Westchester Avenue in the Bronx, just on two different days, October 27th and November 1st. And for more information, you can actually contact Jessica Dalton at 718-409-4968, or you can simply go to consazon.com. And finally, the Bronx Music Heritage Center and La Bruja present the Witches Coven Halloween celebration. That's Wednesday, October 30th at 6:30 p.m. to 10 p.m. 6:30 p.m. to 10 p.m. And there will also be a tribute and live concert at the Bronx Museum, which is located at 1040 Grand Concourse in the Bronx. And that is happening Wednesday at 6:30 p.m. to 10 p.m. Woo! And that is what we have for your spooky fun, Halloween fun, that is. All right. And once again, that's what we have for you in our open weekend preview. I hope you get out during the weekend, during the week. Trick or treat, just be safe. And we do have to take a quick break, but we'll be right back with some more open. Don't go anywhere.
Wow, these are really good.
You act surprised. Practice makes perfect.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. There are thousands of teens in foster care who don't need perfection. They need you.
Hello, welcome back to Open. The fairy tale of the Three Little Pigs has seen many parodies over the years, but the new book, Mr. Wolf versus the Three Pigs, sets the classic in the courtroom in a way you've never seen. It's been used in classrooms to help simplify the legal process. We welcome to our open set author Donna Guillaume and William Guillaume and Mr. Wolf to the show. Hello and welcome.
Hello, Rena. How
Thank
are
you
you?
very much for
thank
having
you.
us.
Inviting us.
And thank you
very
for
much.
bringing Mr. Wolf.
Yeah.
I'm glad he could take a moment of his time from being in the court system to be with us today.
Yeah, that's right, from the wild to the set.
From the wild to the set. So, Guillaume, you're husband and wife,
Yes,
Yes, we are.
and you wrote this book together,
Yes,
That's
we
right.
did.
and it's about the court system. So, who's the lawyer in the house?
I'm
This
the
one.
lawyer in the house.
He's a lawyer.
The lawyer.
You're the lawyer,
Yeah.
and you're the author,
Um,
and you're both the
well,
authors,
correct,
obviously,
right,
right? So,
right.
what was that like writing a book together?
I think it was fun. I mean, it brought us close together
At times.
at times.
At
you know,
times.
because we have our conflicting views, but it brought us together, I think, closer as husband and wife, and as artists. We saw we could do something together.
You know, the beauty of what you've done is that you've taken a fairy tale story and you've actually created an educational story that helps people understand how the court system works,
That's
right?
right, yeah.
And so, if you could just share a little bit about, what inspired you to even do that, because you said you have copies of actual court papers.
Okay. Well, actually, we're driving home one day, and Will said basically what would happen if Mr. Wolf was taking the Three Pigs to court. Because we're always talking about stuff, and we're very creative. And I actually teach also at a college. So, and I've taught for many years in the public school system. So, for me, it kind of started off as this funny joke, but then it kind of evolved into a story. So first we audio taped it, and then we started writing it. And initially when he suggested writing this story, I thought it was strange because I don't write fiction. So I never imagined that I would be writing a fictional book. But then as we started writing it, it became fun.
So, William, why the wolf and the three pigs?
I thought, you basically, as you're in school and they give you these books, they give these kids these books, and the books, to me, growing up, a lot of them was boring.
Okay.
To be honest, brutally honest, and I never, I said, you can use fairy tales
Right.
and bring it up to a certain level to make the kids have fun when they read, and teach at the same time, because a lot of people associates reading with, being serious.
Right.
But me, I learn the best when I'm having fun.
Right. I think we all do, right?
Yeah,
It's
so-
like it's better to learn when you don't feel like you're actually sitting there learning.
That's right.
Right? Somehow you're able to retain it a little bit better.
That's right.
And definitely that's what Mr. Wolf does. Mr. Wolf is humorous. So basically through the whole book you're laughing. You're laughing at the antics of Strawhouse Pig, which is one of the characters, and she's defending herself in court.
Okay.
So, because she can't afford an attorney.
Right.
Because attorneys are expensive.
Right.
And so she defends herself. So she's hilarious. And she kind of also highlights the plight of the poor.
Right.
And what happens when you can't afford legal representation. And so the book is educational but funny.
It's funny. It sounds like you have social justice going on in there,
Definitely.
right? Socioeconomic justice as
Definitely.
well. And also, you wrote this interesting concept of the wolf clearing his name. What is that about?
Well, Mr. Wolf represents, I think, any group that's stigmatized.
Or marginalized.
Marginalized in society.
Right.
So, as we were writing Mr. Wolf, initially started off as a children's story. But I also teach criminal justice, so a lot of time I spend talking about victims and justice. And so Mr. Wolf kind of evolved into that character who was stigmatized, he's marginalized, he lives in the woods, away from the larger society. And now he's like, you know what? I'm dying, perhaps, and sometimes I have these generations of other wolves to come. Why should we be called the big bad wolf? What did we do? And so Mr. Wolf decides to take this case to court, even though Mrs. Wolf, his wife, was against it. But he decides to proceed and get an attorney and go to court.
And it's also, for the younger kids who don't go so deep into thinking, they will see it's but animals, and animal rights. The right of, if you read it, you will get the vibe that why should a wolf be stigmatized as a big bad wolf? The wolf is not as dangerous as the lion,
Right.
but people want to hug the lion but afraid of the wolf.
Right.
So it's just basically showing that difference. So for the younger kids, but the older people, when they read it, they're basically seeing society, because we divided up the three pigs into class. The stickhouse pig is a middle class pig. The brickhouse pig is living uptown in luxury.
Right.
And the strawhouse pig is still struggling.
Interesting.
So we divided up in class and show how the class system works and how justice figure into that.
So, what is the age range for the youth that would be able to actually comprehend the story?
I would say anyone from 8 to adulthood. So when I first started writing the book, we tested it with young people, and I gave it to young kids, and they were able to read it. And just from the feedback we got, 13-year-olds, 14-year-olds, adults read it. Like, we just got an email this week from a woman who her son bought the book for her son.
Right.
But he was telling her so much about the book, and he likes the legal satire part. So now she's going to read the book. And a lot of adults have read the books, and attorneys have read the book, because they think it's funny.
Right. We love that it's funny because, it's like lawyer funny.
Yeah,
That's kind of like...
yeah. That's why when we was writing the book, as you said that, I think you get in the feel.
Right.
I was like, don't take it too serious.
Right. Oh, okay.
Don't
He
get it
kept
so
reining
serious.
me
We
in.
got to make this thing, we got to
Funny.
stay funny, because the original idea is to make it funny. So when you get into that legal, dragons and stuff, I was like, no, we got to,
Right.
But
That's
we managed to really come to a agreement.
to find a balance
A
is what you're
balance,
saying,
yeah.
because
Yeah.
if you're using the legal terminology and one isn't familiar at all,
Right.
the idea is that for somebody to familiarize themselves
Right.
with the whole legal
Right,
system.
and we don't want it to sound like teachy, like you're teaching somebody. They should read it and don't even know that they're learning about the legal system
Right.
Until after they're finished.
until after the finish. And they're like, yeah, that's actually the way it works.
Which is awesome because, most people learn about the legal system,
Right.
Yeah.
getting thrown into it.
Right. We
where-
don't want people thrown into the system.
Nice.
We want them to see it from the
We
outside.
don't want you to be convicted and then you're trying to figure out the legal system after you've been convicted. We want you
Nice.
to be to know something about it, and then you
Stay away from it.
Stay away from the
Right, right. The idea is to avoid it, and also
unless you're fighting for your rights.
right.
Then you whatever it leads, it leads.
Which is awesome. I just want to show everybody what the book looks like. This is what the book looked like, Mr. Wolf versus the Three Pigs. And just because you're saying fighting for your rights, what was it like in your house putting this book together?
Funny.
Fighting
funny.
for my right to my opinion with a lawyer.
Absolutely, and I was fighting for my rights also with him because he was saying, "Oh, you're preaching too much," and I had to take out a lot of things out of the book.
Yeah, cut
Just
that,
to
cut this.
have peace.
Nice. And you don't have children.
We have two.
We do.
You have two? Okay,
We
because
do.
you said you
We do.
teach, you didn't mention anything about the
and
kids.
it's funny that you mentioned child. My daughter, she's 4 years old.
Okay.
And she thinks Mr. Wolf is bad.
Uh-huh.
So she's not even in school yet, but she already had the perception of Mr. Wolf being a bad person.
Right.
And so we had to say, you can't live in this house with us.
Right.
And say Mr. Wolf is bad.
Right.
We're defending Mr. Wolf.
Right.
So.
Right. So just from a realistic perspective, wolves can be dangerous. So
Right.
how are you balancing the reality of that?
I mean, anyone can be dangerous.
True.
Humans can be dangerous.
Humans are
True.
more dangerous, I think, than wolves.
And a matter of fact, a lot of times
Yeah.
humans are encroaching on their habitats.
Yeah.
And so that's part of the issue
Yeah.
also.
Yeah. We make
That
the
we don't-
laws and we say, listen, we have too much wolves, but the wolves was there before us.
Interesting.
But we
Nice.
need space. So when more space we need, the less space the more we take away from the wolves.
Nice.
So it's like
So I think anyone
look
can be
at-
dangerous because you could look at it as zoning, you can look at it
A
as
lot of that-
gentrification,
yeah.
you can look at it a lot of different things in
Yeah.
terms of once people decide that they want to move over, they
Yeah.
become dangerous. to
Once the
other people.
stronger part, the people that runs the economic system come into a certain area,
Right.
you might be dangerous to them. They want to justify the reason why you should move.
I got it.
You understand?
The wolf is a metaphor.
Yeah, it's a metaphor.
of class and just
And just rights.
control.
Yeah, control.
And control.
Who's in charge and
Got
who's
it.
making the rules.
Nice, lovely. Thank you so much for
Thank
being
you
here
so
with
much,
us.
Thank you, man. It's always
Thank
fun.
you, and thank you for taking the time to write this book for our next generation. Where can people go to actually
You can get
the
it
book?
on Amazon.com, Barnes & Noble, and basically a lot of independent bookstores.
Yeah, any independent bookstores. Goodread, where there's some. And
eBay.
The Nook, the Kindle.
Very awesome.
Exactly.
Nice, thank you.
And like
Thank-
us on Facebook.
Definitely.
What's the Facebook page?
It's Mr. Wolf feed the Three Pigs.
Got it. Thank you.
Thank
All
you
right,
very much.
Guillaume,
Thank you.
Mr. and Mrs. Guillaume.
Thank you so much,
And the
Rena.
wolf, and Mr. Wolf himself.
All right.
Thank you for being here in honor of Halloween.
Because
All
we're
right.
the voice for Mr. Wolf since he can't speak
Got
for
it.
himself.
Right, because you're lawyers, of course. For more Mr. Wolf versus the Three Pigs, like them on Facebook at Mr. Wolf versus the Three Pigs. We'll be right back with more Open.
Thank you so much.
Being a dad can be tough.
No. What do you mean she's not coming?
When's the fairy princess coming?
Any minute now.
But when you're willing to do anything,
It is I, Cruz Zinkelpel. Okay, time for cake.
it's always worth it.
I know it's really you, Guru. I'm just pretending for the other kids.
The smallest moments can have the biggest impact on a child's life. Take time to be a dad today. Call 877-4DAD-411 or visit fatherhood.gov.
Barry, time is running out. According to my calculations, 1 in 5 kids in America struggles with hunger. How can so many children face hunger when there's more than enough food to feed them all?
Babadoo.
You're right, Barry. We can help solve hunger by teaming up with Feeding America to get food to hungry kids in communities across the country.
Help Flint and the Feeding America network of food banks get food to the people who need it in your community. Find your local Feeding America food bank at feedingamerica.org/hunger.
Together, we're Feeding America.
Being a dad can be tough.
No. What do you mean she's not coming?
When's the fairy princess coming?
Any minute now.
But when you're willing to do anything,
It is I, Cruz Zinkelpel. Okay, time for cake.
it's always worth it.
I know it's really you, Guru. I'm just pretending for the other kids.
The smallest moments can have the biggest impact on a child's life. Take time to be a dad today. Call 877-4DAD-411 or visit fatherhood.gov.
I already knew that I was going to go to college, from a young age. I definitely want to major in political science. After that, I'm going to get my law degree. Then I'm going to come back to Detroit, boost the economy, become the mayor or something, try to make the situation better for other people. I feel like I owe it to the city. I'm determined. It's going to happen. My name is Justin, and I am your dividend.
Hello and welcome back to Open. The Bronx Underground has captured the hearts of teenagers in the Bronx for quite a while and turned teenage rebellion into a fun and safe place to cultivate musical talents. Now a new movie wants to show the great bonds this subculture has provided for Bronx youth. We welcome Francesca Savoy to the show to talk about Jump Start
The Jump Off Summer.
The Jump Off Summer, Jump Off Summer, which is in pre-production right now.
Yes.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
All right, so The Jump Off Summer, let's just jump off there. Okay. And just share a little bit about what inspired this direction, right? Because the music is geared more towards rock.
Yes.
And rock in the Bronx is kind of like, rock in the Bronx? That's interesting.
Yes, it's about the underground rock bands and the music and the experiences that, and actually it's not a documentary, it's a narrative.
Okay.
And it follows our main character, Josh, slightly autobiographical in the sense where the experiences are based off of the experiences that I had with my friends going to these shows and experiencing this music and making friends with these bands. And what inspired me was really, I went to Queens College for 2 years, and pretty much anyone there, when I said I was from the Bronx, they asked me, where's my gun, or things like that.
Right, the stigma.
Yeah, so, I mean, not completely serious, but...
Right, yeah. Just assumptions.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so I really wanted to write something to showcase the great stuff about the Bronx, and when I think about that, I think about the music. There are so many underground rock bands that nobody knows about. There's a Moment's Worth and Left in the Attic and My Arcadia that are just great bands. And I really wanted to combine, I guess, what are my two greatest passions in the world, which are music and filmmaking. So I decided to write this movie.
All right, so you wrote this narrative, right?
Yes.
Now that we got that cleared up. And it's basically kind of autobiographical, and you cast a boy in
the lead,
the lead, as opposed to a girl, which I find interesting. Why'd you do that?
I don't know really. I never really thought about it. It just kind of made sense at the time, and I guess because our female lead is a slightly secondary character, and I think that heroes are overrated. I'm a big fan of the sidekicks. So I think I wrote the character I relate more to as more of the sidekick.
Interesting. So how old are you, if you don't mind me asking?
I'm 21.
You're 21, and how long have you been in this underground rock scene?
Since I was 15.
So you were 15. You're from the Bronx.
Yes, I am.
Born and raised in the Bronx.
Yes.
Okay, so what was that like, being born and raised in the Bronx and having that interest as opposed to what is, I guess, would be in your neighborhood, without like categorizing it. I'm trying not to categorize it. It's kind of like, you found your passion in rock at what age?
I was 7 years old.
7. How did that happen?
Well, I guess how I found my passion through music, was my dad played an old 70s rock CD, and that was pretty much it. From there, I was hooked, and I just fell in love with music. And I've wanted to just play music and be involved with music ever since.
Do you play music?
I do. I play guitar.
You play guitar. Now, how did that individualize you from everybody else on your block?
It didn't really. Growing up, I actually had, my block was actually full of musicians. All of my friends were singers or musicians in some way.
So you were actually raised in an artistic environment.
Very much so.
So you didn't have to concern yourself with your individuality.
Right.
Yeah, that's the point I'm getting at. Because there are a lot of people who are afraid to just be who they feel like being and who they were born to be because of the peer pressure of, the environment. So I was just trying to get to this place of understanding like how it's very brave and I applaud you in like putting a film out about it and what it takes to do something like that. So where are you now in the process?
We're in the pre-production phases. We're still working on casting. We have our main girls. We're having a little trouble finding our boys. And we have most of our locations down, and the script is finished. So we're on our way. On our way.
So basically, at this stage, it's safe to say that you're casting.
Yes.
So if anybody's watching right now, like what are the roles that are available right now?
Well, there's our lead, who's Josh, and
how old is Josh?
He's 19 years old.
Okay.
And he's the youngest character, and he's a singer and plays piano.
Nice. So the person has to be able to sing and play piano?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, that's why you're having challenging casting. So
Yes.
it's like multi-talented people. Go for it.
And then we have another boy who can be a little older, and he plays bass.
Okay.
And those are the two that we need right now. And then we need someone to play Josh's mother and Josh's younger sister. And we're struggling with finding them because we haven't found our Josh yet. But
Okay. So is there a breakdown or any place that people can actually go to obtain like the details of these casting categories?
yes, we have a Craigslist up.
Okay.
For that, and if anybody was interested in auditioning, they can email us at thejumpoffsummermovie@gmail.com.
Right. And how long is this a feature?
Yes.
And how long have you been in the film business?
That's kind of a loaded question. Well, I started for real, when I was 16. And
What's for real?
Well, when I got a real camera and started working with other people.
Right.
And, kind of not just silly stuff in my living room.
Right. So you've been doing it for a while, though?
Yes.
Okay.
And when I was 16, my aunt paid for me to go to this program at Purchase College. And it was a summer film camp, I guess you would call it. And basically we made short films, and we had a final project, and I ended up making a little short film that we called The Lunch Club. It was kind of a play off The Breakfast Club, and a music video. And our final project, something that I called Peterson's Lake, which was awful, but it's my masterpiece. And it was kind of a parody of like these teenage drama shows like One Tree Hill and Dawson's Creek and stuff like that.
Very cool. I can just sit here and listen to you because I can tell that you're actually passionate about what you do.
Very much so.
And that you've been doing it a very long time. And I'm so looking forward to having you back when you've already completed this film. But in the meantime, you're actually looking to cast. And
Yes.
Is there anything else you're looking for?
Crew members as well.
Crew members.
Yeah,
Which is a
we've had
perfect
a few
place here
people.
because we have a lot of people who are also in the business right here on set. Right, we got a nice long
true,
big crew
yes.
here. Right, shout out to the crew. So, all right. Is there anything else you want to leave us with regarding your film?
I don't know. Just come watch it. It's going to be awesome.
Come watch
Yes.
it. All right. So, what are you slating to be the opening date?
We're not sure about that yet. We're starting filming in March.
Okay.
Though.
Of 2014.
Yes.
Okay.
And hopefully it will be ready by summer.
Nice. And then at that point, you can get into all the festivals. And, we wish you nothing but the best over here. And I cannot wait to hear your process and your progress. Yeah, so please
Thank you very
make
much.
sure you stay in touch with us, all right?
Oh.
All right. So once again, for more on Jump Off Summer, right? Jump Off Summer, you can check out their Facebook page. And after that, after the break, we'll find out about a great weekend event you won't want to miss. Don't go nowhere.
I don't know what's happening. Start a new chat. What did I do? Okay. Wow. That is so weird.
Hey! Hi!
Oh my gosh. Hi! God, I don't even know what to say right now. I'm so nervous. Gia, you're so big. Come closer to the camera. Wait, now you're in my face. That was so good.
A single ember from a wildfire can travel over a mile. That ember can ignite and destroy your home or community. You can't control where that ember will land. Only what happens before it does. Visit fireadapted.org to learn how you can help protect your community from wildfires.
And 1 and 2 and NFC, AFC, offensive linemen, defensive tackles, quarterbacks, and cornerbacks are all living united to ensure the academic success of millions of kids in our communities all the way to graduation day. But that won't happen without you. So take the pledge at unitedway.org. Make a difference in the life of a child. Suit up like your favorite NFL players and become a volunteer reader, tutor, or mentor with United Way.
This was me. And Mom and Dad. And my big brother Alex. And Jack. This was the day that I learned that sandals get their name from sand. And that the ocean is bigger than all of us. This was the day we all got to forget that I was sick. This was my wish.
Oh, wow. Hello and welcome back to Open. This weekend we will celebrate 100 years of the Cross Country Trail and 20 years of BronxNet television with a 5K promoting great health for a great cause. Joining us to share more about the fun is my BAF, Gail, best animated friend, and Executive Director Michael Maxnavi. Hello and welcome to you both. Hello, Michael.
Hey.
Good day, great day. Good
hey,
morning.
Gail.
Hi, everyone.
How you doing?
I'm super excited for the race this weekend.
So are we. I think all three of us are down with this, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely. This is a beautiful cross-country trail we're talking about, celebrating 100 years of the Van Cortlandt Park Cross-Country Trail, where scholar athletes run, where the best in the world run, where the national championships and the world championships are held right in Van Cortlandt Park. And you know what? We're going to run for the trail this Sunday, October 27th. At 11:30 a.m. is the start. Mm-hmm. Best times get an award, but also the best costume.
Oh no! I got distracted. Did you say chips?
There are bibs. I don't know about chips.
You said championships. I'm hungry.
Oh my gosh.
Oh yeah, but we're not promoting chips, sweetheart. We're running on Sunday.
Well, this reminds me. The name of the race, Gail, is the BronxNet Fitness 5K cross country run. How many folks ran cross country in this room? There's about 30 people, young people in this room. How many folks? Hey, a lot of people raising their hands here.
Really?
Ran cross country in Van Cortlandt Park. You know, there's high school tradition, there's a college tradition, and the best in the world compete there. So, you know, to see these hills, which are very formidable, at their best is a wonderful, inspiring thing. But also, they've been impacted by storms, and there's storm resiliency efforts that are needed, and maintenance and restoration. And that's why we're doing the Run for the Trails and the BronxNet Fitness 5K XC Run with the Friends of Van Cortlandt Park, with the Van Cortlandt Park Conservancy, with the City University of New York Athletic Conference, and other great partners, including the Van Cortlandt Park Track Club and the New York Roadrunners.
This is awesome. Cool. This is really, really inspiring. I'm enthusiastic. I'm super excited. I don't know if you guys are super excited. We've been plugging this for a while now, and I've been getting down with it, and I've actually been doing my jogging to build up to this 5K. The only thing that scares me a little bit, Gail, is, you know, when he says that, you know, there's like trails that are, go up, and the scenic part of it is you know, definitely I'm enthusiastic about. It's, well, the hills, because I've been training running on just a straight
flat surfaces.
Yeah, on a flat surface around a reservoir. And so, you know, the idea is that you train in the environment, or at least have something similar. And I haven't been running up hills.
It's gonna be a challenge, but who doesn't like a challenge? A challenge is what makes things fun, what makes you want to push farther. So you know what? You just take it at your own pace and do what you can. If you need to slow down or stop, you take that breath, but you're going to finish, Rena. I believe in you.
Thank you. Oh my goodness, you have me super psyched, and thank you for that advice, because that's actually where I've come to. I've come to this place of like just being forgiving of myself and embracing the fact that this is where I'm at this part of my training. You know, this is the level that I'm at. So if I have to slow the pace down because I'm going up a hill, then that's what I'm going to do. But you're right, I will finish. I, without a doubt, am completing this 5K.
That's the way you need to think about it. Don't worry about it in the like from here. You just know that you're ready, know that you know what you can do, and when you get there, you're gonna push, and you might be surprised at what comes out of you.
You know, and the beauty of what we're doing is we're actually running in the beautiful Van Cortlandt Park, and I gotta say, you know, training amongst the nature and the trees and the views, and even recently the air it's cooled off a little bit, so I just feel that it's a little easier to breathe right now.
Absolutely.
I think the weather is perfect as well.
It's gonna be great. Yes, it's not so much pressure on your chest. You're gonna have, just breathe in and out through your mouth. Usually I have a pace. I take 3 steps, I'm breathing in, and then I breathe out for 3 steps. It really helps me pace myself, pace my breathing. This way I know that I'm not gonna get cramps or things like that.
Dang, nice tips, thanks.
Well, you know, there are folks that are starting out running, and an exercise regimen before you start, of course, see your physician, but there's going to be folks like the Van Cortlandt Park Track Club, veteran runners that can share best practices about running and different philosophies about stretching, about warming up. There's going to be a warm-up at this race, and a pioneer of hip-hop will be conducting the warm-up. That's Grandmaster Melly Mel, the first MC, and the host of Grandmaster Fitness on BronxNet will be there at the race this Sunday to get people motivated and to get out there and, you know, do your best in support of the trails, our beautiful trails in our borough parks, the Bronx.
That's super cool.
Yeah, that is cool. That's very cool. So just because it starts at 11:30, I think people should get there a little earlier based on everything we're sharing right now.
Absolutely.
The sign up, the warm up. So I would say
the start time is 11:30, but you want to get there earlier.
Right.
You can pre-register at Van Cortlandt Park Conservancy. Their website is vcpark.org, and it's the Run for the Trails series that you're going to click on the BronxNet Fitness 5K to pre-register. There'll be registration on site beginning this Sunday at 10 a.m. And you can do that, but also know that Lloyd's Carrot Cake is right across the street on Broadway in the Bronx, on the periphery of Van Cortlandt Park, where we're gathering by the Tortoise and the Hare sculpture, a beautiful sculpture there in Van Cortlandt Park, right on Broadway in the Bronx, right across the street from Lloyd's Carrot Cake. That's where everybody's meeting this Sunday, October 27th, for the Run for the Trail, the BronxNet Fitness 5K, and you can pre-register at that time. I'm sorry, you can register before the race at that time. We're giving prizes for the best times, but of course also for the best costume. And I see there's one candidate for that right here in the studio today.
Yeah, Mr. Wolf. Mr. Wolf is here. I don't know if I could wear something like that and jog. I mean, I'll do the best that I can. I mean, maybe I'll just wear a tiara.
We have a swimmer competing in Baron Ambrosia who just swam from the Yonkers border of the Bronx River all the way down to the Long Island Sound, 7 miles. And, you know, he's never run. He's never really run, but he's going to do this race. He's been training in other ways, and he is going to compete in his first 5K this weekend. And you can meet Baron Ambrosia, Grandmaster Melly Mel, and many more.
Nice. And so I noticed that you were drafting something up. I was speaking to Gail.
You know, I've been so inspired by some of the shows on BronxNet, and there's a great artist in the Bronx who is a recent on-air personality.
Yeah, the Art and About, right?
Daniel Halbin,
Nice.
painting and drawing Bronx vistas for so many years, and his work is celebrated in murals at the Bronx Community College campus, as well as in, you know, public art and the public transportation system. And now he's on your television sets on BronxNet with Art and About with Danny Halbin on Sundays at 11 a.m. on BronxNet channel 6733 Fios. And he's like, you know, sort of presenting a new way to look at the world, to look at your world, to look at the Bronx, to look at the community, and to get out there. And you can draw along with Danny as he paints and draws at the Bronx Zoo, at Lehman College, along the Grand Concourse, these beautiful Bronx vistas. It opens up new doorways, and I'm so inspired. I'm drawing whenever I get a chance.
This is so awesome. I mean, you
Is
actually...
Danny Halbin going to be at the race?
Is he going to be at the race?
You know, I don't know. That's a good question there,
He should
Gail.
be, yeah.
It's an ideal venue for him. There's going to be a great people and a beautiful course, and you know, there's an urban wilderness in Van Cortlandt Park. There's, in addition to the trees and just that landscape, the hills, the rolling hills where you can sort of get this zen flow as you run or you walk and appreciate nature. There's deer. I've seen beaver. I've seen birds of all types, you know, including birds of prey. It's just a lovely place to learn about nature and to learn about our urban wilderness.
And that's what we will be doing this Sunday. So please join us. Join us. Are you going to share with everyone your draft?
I mean, this is just a few minutes.
Look at this.
I don't know
Look
if it's.
at this. You drew me?
You got to iris down on that. I just,
All right, well, look, there we go. Very
this is a quick
nice,
study.
Michael.
I've been watching the show, you know.
Yeah, nice. I like that. I like that. Thank you.
Prego.
Hopefully you sign it over to me. No.
So, there's a lot of great things happening with your channels on BronxNet. I don't know, Gail, are you going to run this race?
I am not. I'm going to be cheering on the side.
And
Absolutely.
you know what? Are you going to be singing any planeros? Because there's going to be some Afro-Caribbean rhythms there on Sunday.
I'm so excited about that.
And we also have a screening of the first feature-length Bronx Flavor coming up at the Andrew Friedman Home.
Yeah, we actually have Baron Ambrosia on the show a little later.
Are you sure about that? I'm not sure about that.
Oh, really?
No, there's a lot going on. But he'll be here probably next week. But
Okay.
November 2nd, and then also look out for the Savor the Bronx coming up. Bronx Borough President Ruben Diaz Jr. is announcing Savor the Bronx November 4th through the 15th in the Bronx. Great places to eat.
And there's also Tour de Bronx.
And Tour de Bronx, whether you bike, whether you run, bikers will bike, runners will run, bikers will run, and runners will bike. On Sunday, you have options.
Yeah.
You can do the Tour de Bronx and see the Bronx for a 40-mile or 25-mile tour, or you can do a BronxNet Fitness 5K, or you can try to do both, a biathlon.
Awesome. Thank you. That was a lot of information. And in case you didn't get all of that information, all you got to do is go to bronxnet.org. And once again, remember that the BronxNet Fitness 5K XC 100 is this Sunday at Van Cortlandt Park starting at 11:30 a.m. Michael wants to say something, yes?
Yeah, well, let's supersaturate the information.
Okay, let's do it.
If you want to be inspired enough to take training at BronxNet, we're offering courses at Lehman College, of course, but there's also a new course, a workshop at Andrew Friedman Home, media production workshops that start tomorrow. And you can register now, information at bronxnet.tv.
Nice. All right.
On the Grand Concourse, that beautiful mansion, Andrew Friedman Home, BronxNet media workshops, learn and create.
Beautiful. Thank you. Once again, if you didn't have a chance to write it all down, all you got to do is go to bronxnet.tv or bronxnet.org. All right, when we return, we'll get all the latest in the world of sports. But first, let's take a look at a film premiere highlighting a unique culture.
If you haven't heard the term Garifuna, that's all about to change with a Hanu film documenting the culture.
I Am Garifuna is a story about a young man on a journey of discovering his culture. Not a lot of people know about the Garifuna culture, and that's something that I want to bring to light with my film. This event is to raise funds for the film.
It really started when my brother and I realized that we knew little to nothing about our culture, and it's something that we shared with a lot of our friends as well. So we took that, and with Milton's background in videography and directing, we thought the best way to tell our story would be by making a documentary.
It is an awakening for the new generation and for us as a parent, because it's in risk of extinction. So we have to do extra work in order to preserve it.
It takes a whole village to raise a child. It was like that.
As the executive director of the Garifuna Coalition, it's very important for us to showcase anything that will inspire and empower the Garifuna community. So when we first seen the clips of the documentary, we automatically connected to it, and we said all of our community needs to be a part of this.
I decided to support the I Am Garifuna film. First of all, I am Garifuna as well, and I could relate to the film. And we decided to sponsor it because it's relatable. This could be the story of a Colombian. This could be the story of a Dominican kid. This could be the story of a Puerto Rican kid that was raised here, born here, and everything, and decides to discover his roots back.
I'm just hoping that it breaks new ground, the way it should. That, again, that is an Afro-Latino project, and that we can explore new avenues, for Latinos.
The main thing that I'd like people to get out of the film is that you can learn about your past. And I think that learning about your past is a great key to learning about who you are.
It's a journey on its way to completion, but you can follow the creators of this film on iamgarifuna.com. For BronxNet, I'm Veronica Broadbent.
hot second half spurred the New York Jets past the New England Patriots on Sunday at MetLife Stadium as the Jets beat the Pats 30-27 on a Nick Folk field goal in overtime.
I enjoy any opportunity I get to go out there, whether it's first quarter, second quarter, third quarter, fourth quarter, overtime, whatever it may be. I just like to go out there and help this team win. And I've said this from day one of my career: if I get to kick 100 extra points all year and we'll win a bunch of games, or if I can kick 100 field goals and win 16 field goals and win 3-0 every game, I don't care. I just want to win, and I'm just happy we got a W.
It's big for us. Like I said earlier, it's more about having that chance to win a division, and we knew we was 2 games behind it, and we let one slide away from us up there in Foxborough, but we got this one, and we're going to celebrate and move forward.
I mean, it's just a work ethic. Every time we step on a practice field, we're trying to mimic what we do in the game. So we're building a great, work ethic, and obviously it's working for us. I mean, it's a big push. That's a division team. So we definitely want to get up on the division. But a win like that against an opponent like that, it's a big motivation, and hopefully a drive for the next, some odd games.
It just comes with, the experience, and these guys are busting their tail, blocking for me, and all week, I've always admired, the blocking scheme here and the coaching and everything, and I'm excited to be a part of the special teams unit here because they bust their tail for me, and that's why I see it.
A newly instituted rule gave New England a penalty, and Nick Folk another chance Sunday at the Meadowlands. His 42-yard field goal with 5:07 left in OT handed the Jets a 30-27 victory. Folk was wide left on a 56-yarder, but the miss was negated when New England's Chris Jones was called for unsportsmanlike conduct on a 15-yard penalty that had never been called before in an NFL game. Rex Ryan and company said they'd take it. The Jets are now 4-3. They'll be at 5-2 Cincinnati this Sunday. The Bengals are 3-0 this season at home. Well, home provided some magic for both the Jets and the New York Giants in Week 7. We go back inside the locker room for more. It took 7 weeks, but Big Blue finally got into the win column on Monday Night Football. It took 7 weeks, but Big Blue finally got into the win column on Monday Night Football. Maybe it was the presence of new running back Peyton Hillis, who's 1-0 in a Giants uniform. He goes from unemployed to star of the Monday night game.
It was great to get out there and, in Monday Night Football and play in New York crowd like that. It was spectacular. There's a lot of room for improvement, and I'm just glad that I can be with this organization and we get the win tonight.
Peyton Hillis wasn't the only Giant to find the end zone. Eli Manning connected with Ruben Randall for another score.
I just want to make plays. It's nothing special. Just want to go out there and compete and perform at the best of my ability, and that's what I'm trying to do. It was a great win. We continued to fight. We finally finished in the fourth quarter and came out with the victory.
And you can't forget about the special teams either. That certainly helped the defense on this night.
We got a lot of fight in this locker room. We got a lot of guys that want it. A lot of guys that have a lot of pride in here. We work really hard in the offseason, and to start in a hole like 0-6 is obviously really disappointing, but finally get this first win, it feels good.
It was a big night for Big Blue's defense that did not allow an offensive touchdown.
We have a shovel in our hands now to start digging our way out this hole. So, hopefully tonight is something we can build on. Still a long way to climb out this hole, but this is a good start for us, and hopefully it's something that we can get the ball rolling.
The G-Men are now 1-6. They'll take on the Eagles in Philadelphia Sunday at 1 p.m. We keep it on the gridiron, but move to the college ranks. Can anyone slow the bullet train that is Fordham football? The Rams reeled off another win last Saturday at Yale. Fordham is now 8-0. The Rams topped Yale in New Haven 52-31 and will host Holy Cross next Saturday, November 2nd, back in the Bronx at Rose Hill. 4 games to go as Fordham has set its sights on a perfect season. Time for some quick hitters from around the world of sports. The New York, New Jersey Super Bowl host committee is gearing up for the big game in February, but has also set its sights on other big events in the future. Host committee CEO Al Kelly hopes that the Super Bowl serves as a blueprint for other major events and leads not only to a return of the NFL's biggest game in New York, New Jersey, but possibly the World Cup and maybe even the Olympics in New York, New Jersey. Meanwhile, Madison Square Garden flashed its $1 billion facelift this week to the media and will now unveil it to Knick and Ranger fans. The Knicks will host the Charlotte Bobcats and Bronx native Kemba Walker tonight, while the Rangers finally return from their lengthy road trip due to the renovations to kickstart the season at home this coming Monday. The transformation was showcased to the media on Thursday. Among the new setup, it features 2 chase bridges that run high along the length of the event floor. On the ice, the Broadway Blue Shirts fell 2-1 in Philly Thursday night. A third-period goal shot the Flyers past the Rangers and dropped New York to 2-6 to start the season. The Rangers will be in Detroit this Saturday before returning to MSG Monday for the Montreal Canadiens and their home opener. Meanwhile, the New Jersey Devils are 1-5-4, and the New York Islanders are 3-3-3. From the ice to the hardwood, where the Knicks are coming off a 105-95 preseason loss in Milwaukee Wednesday. Carmelo Anthony had 22 points. The Knicks are 2-4 in the preseason and eager to get rolling in games that matter. Of course, they're hoping for better returns in the regular season. Melo has clearly emerged as the leader. According to reports, he delivered a dose of tough love to J.R. Smith when he learned that Smith violated the anti-drug policy. The Knicks are going to need Anthony and Smith to be on their games this year for another lengthy run in the postseason. In Brooklyn, Nets point guard Darren Williams practiced fully Thursday, according to the team. It was the first time Williams had done so since spraining his right ankle during an off-season workout in Utah. The Nets dropped their last preseason matchup 101-97 in Boston. Brooklyn sat former Celtics stars and newest Nets Kevin Garnett and Paul Pierce. Jason Terry did, however, see some action. Expect the trio to be ready to go when the season opens in 2 weeks. The World Series opened this week, and the series is already tied at 1-1. Boston and St. Louis are renewing their World Series rivalry of yesteryear. Thursday night, Michael Wacha and his Cards pen provided the power arms. Former Met Carlos Beltran, injected with a painkiller after injuring himself in Game 1, came through yet with another clutch hit. And this time, St. Louis evened the series with the Red Sox being tripped up with fielding blunders the way the Cards were in Game 1. The St. Louis rookie pitcher outdueled John Lackey, and St. Louis won 4-2. The series now shifts to St. Louis for Games 3, 4, and 5. Those are the headlines. We hit the C-list for a cold sports winter here in New York. There's been a nip in the air this past week. You can tell that fall is in full swing and that winter is just around the corner. Personally, it feels like the coldest October in some time, at least from a New York City sports perspective. The World Series is somewhere else, and the Yankees and Mets didn't even make it to the party. Ice hockey has returned, but through the first 10 games of the season, none of the 3 locals look like serious contenders for the Cup. The Devils have won some titles in the past, but it's been a minute for the Rangers and Isles, and something tells me that may be the story for all 3 clubs yet again this year. Although the Yankees look ready to open the bank and spend, and the Mets have a wealth of talent on the horizon, a World Series in New York doesn't immediately look like it's on the horizon. And then there's our football situation. The New York Giants have certainly done their share the past 6 seasons, but this one is off to a rough start, and it remains to be seen whether or not it's salvageable after 7 weeks. The Super Bowls of recent memory were great, but that may be all we have for a little while, and that includes the Jets, who gave us a couple of AFC title thrills, but are still searching for a championship without Joe Namath under center. And while it's great to see them win a big game last Sunday, they are 4-3 and play up and down from week to week, perhaps the mark of a rookie quarterback and many new pieces. Maybe the Jets will be the ones that pull it together for us this winter, but it won't be easy. Which leaves us basketball, folks, from the 4 major sports, at least here in the city. The Knicks and Nets may end up being the ones that have to deliver a title this year, but it won't be easy there either. No hoop championships in New York since the 1970s. For such a great sports town, what has happened to our sports teams, and how would you fix them? Share your thoughts with me on Twitter at @TheVoiceBobbyC, and perhaps warm me up this season with some positive vibes. I know we can all use them right about now. That's your sports. I'm Bobby C, and Rita is somehow magically appearing from the outside of your screen.
Because I'm being...
Holy smoke, she's floating in air.
Look at this. Look. There you go. Are you doing that, Bobby?
Some more selfless promotion here on BronxNet before we go into a break. Join us. Let's run all weekend long. We have to take a break, though, now.
Right.
Bye-bye.
Give me a spot. You know my motto, safety first.
They could be dangerous. I think we should call animal control.
Animal control?
To be safe.
Don't worry.
Just...
I got this. It's a new motto.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. There are thousands of teens in foster care who don't need perfection. They need you.
Look at me. Hey.
Raymond, look at Mommy.
Maybe the light hurts his eyes.
Maybe she's just not hungry. Maybe he can't hear us. Maybe we're not stimulating him enough. Maybe it's a phase.
Avoiding eye contact is one early sign of autism. Learn the others today. The sooner it's diagnosed, the better.
Hey, welcome back. And to bring us into the weekend, it's our Open Artist Spotlight.
The Open Artist Spotlight is made possible in part with public funds from the Bronx Council on the Arts through the New York State Council on the Arts Decentralization Program.
We welcome back to the open stage a great friend of the show who always mesmerizes with her fascinating belly dance style. Please welcome Nora Shams! Once again, I'm Rina Valentin, and from all of us here at Open, may the universe provide peace, prosperity, and love. Mwah!